It was at this moment that she knew she f***ed up.
Imagine losing half your health bar for one tiny mistake. Now imagine your opponent did that with only 1 bar of meter, because that's what fighting Ferra Torr was like. This deadly duo could steal half your life bar with one single punish. So today, let's discuss the most punishing character NetherRealm has ever made. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell for future videos, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like after watching. Without any further ado, let's get started. So one of the coolest things about Ferra Torr is that they are actually 2 characters, and they function differently if they're together or apart. So for example, the neutral jump punch. Look at the godlike range on this thing. It's absolutely insane how far you can reach if you space and time it correctly. However, certain attacks will separate your characters, and as a result, your neutral jump punch is now far inferior to what it once was. But oddly enough, certain attacks get better when you're separated. So for example, your down 1 has amazing range without Ferra. Now it's still good with her, to be fair, but trust me, it's much better without Ferra than it is with her on your back. However, down 1 is a rare exception. Typically, you do want Ferra on your back because otherwise you lose access to a majority of your special moves, with the exception of one variation where you don't have Ferra at all. But once again, the main idea is to keep Ferra on your back at all times because you get some godlike combo starters and extenders, and you get access to all the best special moves. However, one of the tricky things about Ferra Torr is the combos. You want to learn which combos keep the opponent juggled long enough for Ferra to hop back on your back, that way you can end the combo with your desired special move. If you attack too fast or end the combo too soon, Ferra won't be on your back and you won't get the combo you want. So that's Ferra Torr's main gimmick, but as far as playstyles go, Ferra Torr had a ton of mix-ups, overheads and lows everywhere, low special moves, overhead special moves, hard to block situations like this, low overhead, that's nuts. You even had certain strings that end with an overhead, but guess what, now it ends with a low, and online especially, that was impossible to react to, you just had to guess. And I gotta mention this low attack right here. This attack is insane, it starts combos for free, no meter required, and you can even do it twice in the same combo, which is optimal in some very rare situations. Or in a nutshell, once Ferra Torr got close to you, it was very, very hard to block this guy, and shockingly, a lot of his special moves are safe on block. This overhead projectile, completely safe on block. This low projectile, also completely safe on block. This charging attack that hits twice and can have armor if you meter burn it, yeah, this thing is safe on block by default as well. It's -8, but nobody can reach you to punish in time. So despite having some god tier mix-ups, Ferra Torr was safe a majority of the time. Unless you really messed up and did a meter burn or something, these were punishable, but at the same time led to full combos. So as long as you made sure you were outside the punish range, you got a full combo without having to offer up your own hurt box. The opponent can hit Ferra, but you won't take any damage if they do. And the same is also true for the overhead. This combos as well if you spend some bar on it. Now it does not launch the opponent towards you like the low, so it's not quite as good, but you could run or try to dash in for a full combo. It's certainly possible. And Ferra Torr also has special moves that can be amplified after you land the hit, which is somewhat rare in this game, but it guarantees that you never waste the bar. You can wait for the hit and then spend your bar to get a bit of extra damage. But now it's time to talk about the variations. First up, we have Vicious. This, in my opinion, is the least interesting of the variations, but it still has its perks. For starters, we had the command grab. It's really slow and doesn't have very good range, but the damage is decent, and look how close you stay to the opponent. That's a big deal for Ferra Torr because he has really good range on his attacks. They're a bit slower than other characters, like his standing 1 I think is 9 frames, but even so, look at the godlike range on this thing. He's a punish monster. And then we have Boss Toss. This special move is just ridiculous the more you learn about it. So as you can see, it's remarkably fast, and if you spin the bar, it goes full screen, and it's a mid, so the opponent can't duck under this thing. And to make things even crazier, it's completely safe at -5, so not even close to punishable, and then the meter burn version is neutral on block, so neither you or the opponent have the advantage. It pretty much resets the neutral. That's godlike. And if all of that wasn't crazy enough already, Ferra herself can destroy projectiles when you toss her, and that goes for any projectile-based attack with Ferra. So this overhead, it can destroy projectiles. This low, it can destroy projectiles if they're close enough to the ground. And it's the exact same case for Boss Toss. This move will destroy projectiles. So when you combine that with how fast this move is and how quickly it travels, it just says no to projectiles for most of the match. And now let's discuss his next variation, Lackey. This is the forbidden variation because you don't even get to use Ferra, which means a lot of your cool range and mix-ups are gone. However, you get access to one of the best pokes in the entire game. In fact, it might be the best poke. This thing is 6 frames, and look at the insane range on it. And because Ferra is no longer on Torr's back, attack, he gets access to a bunch of new strings as well. Now some of them, like Step Aside, are extremely similar to when he has Ferra, but other strings like On the Ball, this string is godlike because Ferra is left right in the opponent's face and it makes his combos so much easier, and they're already not tough, but this string makes it that much easier. But then we have the special moves that are completely different because before almost every special move relied on Ferra and now they don't, and as a result every single special move had to change. So first up we have the Torr charge. This thing is insane, and if you meter burn it you have 2 hits of armor. It's godlike because a lot of players don't understand how big his hitbox becomes, and as a result trying to jump away or jump over him is a huge risk, and most likely you're going to get hit by it. And just like before, you can wait to meter burn it on a hit, and look at that, 20%, that's really good. If you want to meter burn the meter burn, you get even more damage at 23%. So do it twice and the opponent's almost half dead. And then we have Boulder Roll, one of my favorite moves in this build. If you time it correctly, Torr can actually roll underneath the opponent's projectiles, but then if you want to armor, of course there's an option for that. And as a result, this move is one of Torr's best ways in because it's also completely safe on block. And the meter burn version goes much further because he rolls twice, and yes, it's still safe on block. And that's a big deal because one of Torr's biggest weaknesses is his mobility, and in this build he doesn't even have projectiles, so he really needs to get in. And then finally, my favorite thing about this special move is that it extends combos even without meter as long as the opponent is slightly off the ground when you do the special move. So you can extend combos without any bar, and I just find that so satisfying. And then we have Torr Up. By default, this move can be a great anti-air, but the main star of the show is the meter burn because that starts combos, and believe it or not, it's also completely safe on block, so no risk and a very good reward if you hit confirm correctly. Because despite not having Ferra, this variation does some good damage, and the damage is consistent. It's not the most damaging variation at all, but it does have some really good reliable damage, and it's still in second place, so not a bad variation as far as combos and damage go. And if you ask me, Torr Up is one of the best ways to end a long combo because it leaves you right in the opponent's face, which means it's time for hugs. Yeah, Torr has one of the best command grabs in this variation, so let's talk about it. So for starters, the range on this thing is absolutely insane, and as you can see, it starts up really quickly as well, so at any point in time, Torr can just check you with an unblockable if he's anywhere within jumping distance. And if that wasn't crazy enough, you know there's a meter burn version that does even more damage. Look at that, almost 20%. That's a crazy amount of damage for a command grab this fast with this much range. It's always a threat. And for a small bonus, you can even choose which direction you throw the opponent. So if you're in the corner, guess what? Now they're in the corner. Take that, Devora. And finally, for the cherry on top, you can also combo into the meter burn version. The opponent doesn't even have to be airborne. Any touch whatsoever, you can combo into the meter burn command grab. Now the one downside about this command grab is you throw the opponent really far away, but as you can see, once you have them cornered, that's no longer an issue because you are at plus frames and you have access to one of the best pokes in the entire game. So yeah, once the opponent's cornered, this command grab has no downsides. And now finally it's time for my favorite variation, and it's what this video is titled after. Check out this move, Pain and Gain. It does damage to Torr if you look at his health bar, and you might be asking, why would you ever want to do that? Well, because it's one of the best damage buffs in the entire game, if not the best. Look at that short combo, 40%. The damage buff you get for this move is almost always worth it, and thankfully it's not hard to get because Torr has plenty of moves that put the opponent in a hard knockdown, and you can just pop this buff before the opponent's even back on their feet. Or even better, you can just pop it mid-combo and then run cancel and keep the combo going, and the damage you get is absolutely insane. You can easily get around 40% for just one buff. So here's an example of what that combo looks like. And because you can pop this buff mid-combo, it was not out of the ordinary to have all 3 buffs stacked. That's right, Torr's damage adds up on top of itself for a maximum of 3 buffs. And once you have his damage buffed all the way, you can easily take away 50% of the opponent's life bar, again for only 1 bar of meter, which is just insane because keep in mind, this is a regular punish combo. It's not even an optimal way to start the combo in terms of damage. It's just a guaranteed easy way to punish the opponent, and you're still getting this much damage. So put simply, if the opponent ever whiffed a move or did anything a little bit unsafe, you can punish them with this, pop Pain and Gain, and then get a full combo. And then the opponent's losing half their life if you have 1 bar of meter or more and just a couple of buffs. That's insane to think about. 1 bar and the opponent's already half dead. And maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, but Torr has one of the easiest X-ray combos in the entire game that does 50%. It's literally 2 attacks into X-ray and you're getting 50% damage. So already that's really crazy, and Torr has that by default. But now just for fun, let's say you have all 3 damage buffs stacked and do the exact same combo. How much damage you getting? It's gonna be insane. Oh my god, 65%. Look at the screen right now. That was 2 attacks into the X-ray and you're getting 65%. How insane is that? As you can see, Torr is one of the best punish characters that NetherRealm has ever made, especially in his Ruthless variation, because if you barely whiff whiff a move, boom, get comboed, half your life gone. Do something barely unsafe, boom, get punished, half your life gone. And all it's gonna cost the Ferra player is 1 bar of meter. And keep in mind that they could get more damage if they want to spend more, but why would you? Half health for 1 bar? Keep it going. Save your meter and get the combo again, and now you win. And keep in mind, Torr still has access to all the crazy mix-ups in this variation, so he still has the really hard to block mixes, but this time they do absurdly more damage. So guess wrong or barely mistime your blocking and you're dead. So it's not just the combos that can kill you with this damage buff, it's also his insane mix-ups, and don't forget about his godlike command grab, because he still has it in this build. Look at the range on this thing and the startup. 11 frames, that's extremely fast. But now check it out with the damage buff. Let's pop all 3 and it becomes one of the best command grabs in the entire game. The only better one being Jason, but for his, he has to be at death's door. Ferra does not need that, just a tiny bit of damage, and look at that, you're already a 4th dead for 1 throw. And that wasn't even the meter burn version. Let's check that out real quick. What's that damage look like? Spend 1 bar at level 3 buff, and you're already almost a 3rd dead at 31%. You could literally just land 3 1-bar grabs, because you have 3 bars in this game, so land it 3 times, the opponent's scared, do a short string into chip, and now they're just dead. Oh my god. Yeah, this variation is ridiculous, and I almost forgot, Pain and Gain also has armor if you time it correctly, so you can absorb a hit and then punish them for a full combo without even having to run cancel. Just absorb the hit and get your punish that way. In my honest opinion, this is the best Ferra variation. As long as you don't mind combos that are a bit trickier and you learn the run cancels, it's so much fun. You get crazy damage, crazy unblockables, and still the godlike mix-ups that Ferra is known for, and a lot of them are safe. And now's the interactive part of the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think Ferra should come back? Because I absolutely do. I think he's very underrated, just like Collector. He has amazing attacks, a very unique gameplay gimmick, his variations are so much fun, and god, he's just an all-around joy to play. Not to mention their design is unique too, so I want to see this character come back desperately. Please, NetherRealm, it's such a fun character. So if you love Ferra as well, or you just enjoyed my video, make sure to leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.